A billionaire returned home without warning, expecting peace. Instead, he found his maid holding his screaming twins in a basin of blue water. His rage erupted until a frantic call revealed the shocking truth. What he thought was torture turned out to be the treatment that saved his children's lives. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments what time is it and where are you watching from. Let's start. The mansion was supposed to be silent. After a week of boardrooms and airports, Darius Cole, billionaire investor, wanted only one thing: peace. His leather folder was still in his hand when he pushed open the kitchen door. Instead of silence, he was hit with chaos. Two babies screamed from the countertop basin, their little brown arms thrashing in bright blue water. Naomi, his maid, stood over them, apron soaked, face drawn with concentration as she tilted a plastic bottle. Liquid streamed into the bath, and the twins cried harder. Darius froze in the doorway, disbelief hardening into rage. "What hell are you doing to my children?" Naomi jerked, nearly dropping the bottle, but her hands didn't leave the boys. "Sir, don't. Please, they have to stay in. It's treatment. Treatment." His voice cracked across the kitchen like a whip. He strode forward, suit jacket straining against his shoulders. "That looks like poison. You're pouring chemicals on my sons while they scream." Naomi's jaw tightened, but she didn't flinch. One hand stayed on Micah's slippery shoulder, the other steadying Miles as he kicked. "It's antiseptic. Doctor prescribed it for the rash. If I stop now, it'll only hurt them worse." Darius snatched the bottle off the counter. No label, no instructions, just a blue liquid sloshing in cheap plastic. He held it up like evidence. "This? You expect me to believe this is medicine? It looks like you filled it from the cleaning closet." Naomi's voice sharpened, but she kept her grip firm on the babies. "It came from the pharmacy. The doctor's note is in my bag. That bottle is tinted. It looks harsh, but it's diluted." "Diluted?" He barked out a bitter laugh. The twins' cries slicing the air between them. "Do you hear them? They're in agony." "Yes, they're crying." Naomi leaned closer to Micah, whispering a broken lullaby even as she spoke to Darius. "Because it stings, not because it kills. If I let them out before the timer, the infection spreads." His eyes snapped to the counter. A small kitchen timer ticked down. 7:23. "You're timing my sons like an experiment." His voice dropped to a dangerous growl. 8 minutes in a vat of chemicals. "You're insane." Naomi's hand shook, but she held the boys tighter as they tried to climb out. Water splashed onto her apron. "If you trusted me enough to leave them in my care, trust me now. This is the only way they heal. Trust." Darius slammed the bottle onto the counter so hard the twins flinched. "You think I'm going to trust a maid with unmarked liquids over my own instincts as a father?" The insult cut, but Naomi didn't let go. She pressed the twins back gently, firm enough to stop their wriggling. "Call me what you want, maid, servant, nobody, but right now I'm the only thing keeping their skin from rotting worse than it already is." Darius's chest heaved. He took a step closer, fists clenched, voice shaking with fury. "If they're burned, if there's one scar on their bodies, I'll have you arrested before you step outside this house." Naomi snapped her gaze up at him, eyes wet but blazing. "Then watch. Watch every second. If you think I'd risk them, then you never understood what loyalty means." Micah shrieked, tiny nails raking his chest as if to scratch the itch away. Naomi caught his wrist, voice rough. "No, baby, don't. Don't tear yourself." She looked back at Darius, voice breaking. "This is why we do it. This is why they suffer for 8 minutes, so they don't bleed all night." The timer ticked louder in his ears. 6:10. Darius dragged a hand down his face, torn between rage and fear. He yanked out his phone, thumb hovering over the keypad. "I should call 911. I should call the pediatrician. Anything but stand here while you torture them." Naomi's voice rose, sharp enough to cut through the twins' wails. "Then call. Call whoever you want. But if you pull them out before that timer rings, you'll undo everything. You'll make their pain worse. You'll be the one who ruins them." For a long second, the only sound was the timer clicking down and the twins' sobs echoing against the tile. Darius's knuckles whitened around his phone. Naomi's hands trembled on the boy's slippery skin, but her grip never wavered. His fury and her defiance clashed in the narrow space between them. One ready to rip the children free, the other refusing to let go. The timer read 5:42, and Darius stood frozen, torn between calling for help and acting on instinct. Every scream drilling deeper into his chest. Darius's thumb hovered over his phone screen, his jaw locked tight. Naomi held her ground, knuckles wide against the boy's slippery shoulders. The kitchen was a war zone of screams and distrust until Darius barked into the phone. "Dr. Patel, pick up, damn it." After 2 tense rings, a calm voice answered. "Mr. Cole." Darius's voice cracked with fury. "My sons are in a basin of blue water. The maid claims it's medical treatment. They're screaming their lungs out. Is this some kind of joke?" A pause. Then the doctor's voice grew sharp. "Listen carefully. It's an antiseptic bath. Chlorhexidine tinted blue. 1 part to a 100 parts water. 8 minutes only. No interruptions. It will sting, but it's safe. Do not pull them out early." Darius's breath stalled. He looked at the timer. For 37, Naomi's eyes met his. Steady, unblinking. "You're telling me this? This isn't torture." The doctor's tone was firm. "It's the only way to stop the dermatitis from spreading. You interrupt it. You make them worse. Trust her." Darius lowered the phone slowly. The rage in his chest twisted into something else. Shame. Naomi didn't gloat. Didn't move. She only whispered to the twins, "Almost there, babies. Almost done." Moments later, sirens wailed outside. The kitchen door burst open. 2 paramedics and a pair of security guards rushed in, startled by the sight of crying babies in the sink. "Step aside," one paramedic ordered. "No," Naomi snapped, surprising even herself. "Not until the timer." The other paramedic checked the boy's arms, then gave a quick nod. "No burns, just inflamed skin. She's right. This is antiseptic. Keep going." Darius staggered back, hand clutching the counter. His sons were safe. Safe because she refused to yield to his fury. When the timer finally rang, Naomi exhaled like she'd been holding her breath the whole time. She lifted Micah out first, wrapping him in a clean towel, then Miles. Their cries softened to hiccups, their little fists clutching the fabric. She dabbed ointment on their raw patches with practiced care. Darius stood motionless, shame pressing heavier than any boardroom scandal. Then the detective arrived holding a file. "Mr. Cole, we traced the rash source. Not medical negligence. Your house manager changed the detergent supplier. Industrial grade, not hypoallergenic, caused the flare-ups." Darius's head snapped toward the pale-faced manager hovering near the doorway. "You risk my son's health for a budget line." His voice was ice. The manager stammered. "Sir, the other brand was twice the price." "I thought, you didn't think." Darius stepped forward, fury back in his voice. "You gambled with my children's bodies." He turned to security. "Get him out of my house." "He's finished." The guards escorted the man out. His protests drowned under the sound of the twins' soft coos. Silence hung heavy. Darius finally looked at Naomi, her apron soaked, hair clinging to her forehead, arms trembling from the strain of holding 2 slippery toddlers for 8 unbearable minutes. His voice came low. "I nearly stopped you. I nearly ruined the only treatment saving them." Naomi swallowed hard, rocking Miles gently. "Fear is louder than instruction, sir, but I had to be louder than both." For the first time since entering the kitchen, his eyes softened. "You stood firm when I didn't." Later, after the paramedics cleared them, Darius gathered both twins in his arms. Their tiny bodies wrapped in towels fit against him as if nothing had happened. But something had. The balance of trust in his home had shifted. The next morning, he announced new rules to the staff. No product substitutions without written pediatric approval. All medical bottles labeled with dosage and dates. A nursery bath installed downstairs so such treatments never again had to happen in a kitchen basin. Then he turned to Naomi in private. "You've been more than a maid. You're their protector, their caregiver. From today, you have full authority on their medical instructions and a raise to match." Naomi blinked, stunned. "Sir, I only did what was necessary." "And I misjudged you," Darius said quietly. "I let my pride nearly destroy them. You carried the weight I should have." Of that night, when the twins were finally calm and sleeping, the kitchen no longer echoed with screams. Naomi wiped down the basin, folding the towels neatly. Darius stood behind her, holding his sons one last time before bed. The man who had stormed in furious was now silent, humbled. Gratitude replaced rage. He whispered more to himself than to her. What started as fury ends in thanks. The twins sighed in their sleep, safe in his arms. If this story shocked you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful dramas. And remember, before you judge what you see, ask the questions first. The truth may be the very thing that saves a life.